This is a Lucid Air, a full-size luxury electric sedan meant to rival competitors like the BMW i7, Mercedes EQS, and the Tesla Model S. However, in my opinion, this blows all those cars out of the water. And today, I'm going to show you why. So for those of you that have been living under a rock, Lucid is a new car company that started out of California that started making electric car components like motors, controllers, batteries, and stuff. In 2012, one of the chief designers for the Tesla Model S, Peter Rawlinson, left Tesla to go make his own electric car because he thought he could do better, and made this, the Lucid Air, which actually won 2022 Motor Trend Car of the Year, which is pretty impressive considering that it's a brand new car company and they haven't made anything before. So the Lucid Air is actually one of the fastest charging EVs ever. Or actually, it is the fastest charging EV ever. Well, except for the Hummer EV, but just shut up. Anyway, you can charge its 112 kilowatt hour battery pack from 10 to 80% in about 20 minutes. Pretty impressive. This is one of the fastest charging EVs out there, and it can accept 350 kilowatts with its 900 volt battery pack. So under here in a normal car is where I would probably talk about the engine options, but since this is an electric car, it doesn't have one. The Lucid is powered by two electric motors, one at the front, one at the back, that produce a total of 1,050 horsepower and like 1,000 and something pound-feet of torque. It's a lot. I'm pretty sure this is the range model, not 100% sure, which only has 819 horsepower, but it's still stupid fast, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, and you get 100 miles more range with the range edition versus the performance. So personally, I would pick this powertrain. The crazy thing about these motors is that they weigh less than 150 pounds each and make over 525 horsepower per motor. Insane power to weight ratio on these electric motors, but anyway, that's enough rambling on. Let's just get on to some pros and cons of the Lucid Air Grand Touring. Pro, the Lucid Air is fast. 0 to 60 in 3 seconds is no joke. That's competing with supercars from even a few years ago and even now. And the fact that this is the range version and the performance is faster than the range and the Sapphire being faster than that is kind of concerning because normal people can just go buy this. Huge pro. The Lucid Air has the longest range out of any EV out there, going over 500 miles on one charge. Pretty impressive. It makes this thing the best EV out there for road tripping. Pro, the design. The Lucid Air is kind of like if Apple made a car that wasn't the Tesla Model S. Quite sleek and stylish, and the slim headlights and light bars to boot, with the silver roof, and a night edition is an option. Or actually, I think it's called Stealth package, but whatever. Con, the price. The Lucid Air starts at $138,000 and can go upwards 180 grand. And for the Sapphire, I think it's like 250. So it's definitely not cheap. And considering that BMW and Mercedes are slightly cheaper and slightly nicer inside and are from a trusted and proven manufacturer, makes it difficult to justify the Lucid's high price. Pro, the seat. These are the single best seats I've ever sat in. They're heated, ventilated, which makes them nice to begin with. Most luxury cars are heated and ventilated. However, they are also massaging seats. If you go into the screen, you can basically change everything about the seats. Even like the height of the headrest and the thigh support is adjustable. Pro, Lucid can do over-the-air software updates, which is very important because the early software was full of bugs. Pro, Apple CarPlay and I believe Android Auto. I'm not 100% sure on Android Auto, which sounds pretty standard and in fact is, but Tesla and Rivian don't have Apple CarPlay. Since the Lucid software can be quite buggy, it is nice to have Apple CarPlay as a backup. Con, the charging port. The port itself is fine, to be clear. It opens with the tap at the bottom of the port, although you have to press quite hard to get it to open, and it's not clearly labeled, so that's kind of a problem. But the location of it is not ideal. It's on the driver's side fender right in front of the door. Not ideal for chargers with short cables. Smaller EVs like the Chevy Bolt can get away with this because the hood is quite short. The Lucid's hood is quite long, making charging at certain chargers, especially the new Tesla Magic Docks, basically impossible. Okay, massive pro here. The front trunk. By far the largest in this class, and heck, even Mercedes and BMW don't even offer a front trunk. The Lucid is way larger than that of the Model S and power operated, so it makes it way more convenient, and also you don't have to lift it open like some sort of peasant. Con, the keyless entry. This car cannot decide whether to be locked or unlocked. It's bad actually. Like, I barely step out of range and then it locks. I step in the range again. It unlocks and then it'll lock again even though I haven't even moved. It's too sensitive. They need to refine the key range. And I've noticed this, even if the key is in the car, it's still says it's not detecting it, even though it's in the car. There's problems with the keys. Pro, the phone app. Lucid has a great app that you can use with your key and has an Apple Watch app, so you can just diddle an app on your Apple Watch to open, unlock, lock, open the front trunk, even pre-cool the car. Con, the door handles are super flimsy and plastically and just overall not a good experience and can actually be laggy because they're electronic. You push up on the door handle, it sends a request to pop the door open, and there's like a half-second delay, and then it finally opens. You can only grab them from the bottom, like cars in the 90s and the Mitsubishi Mirage. And it doesn't help that the door handles broke on my example, so. Pro, Dream Drive. Lucid's equivalent to Tesla's autopilot. Works very well, actually, and works on all roads, which can't be said for Rivian's Driver Plus. However, the biggest drawback of this system is that it's not standard equipment on all trims, and when it is an option, it's a $10,000 one. Not cheap. Pro, Auto Park. The Lucid can automatically park itself. Pull up to a space, press a button, and let it go. The car will pretty much do it all for you. Very good self-parking system. Fairly accurate. It's in between the lines, and it does park in spaces that are not surrounded by cars. Pro, plug-in charge support. For those who don't drive electric or have a Tesla, when you charge at a public charging station, say Electrify America, plug it in, you wait for it to communicate, swipe your card or diddle an app, and then you're on your way. Well, with the Lucid, all you have to do is just plug in. Just like Tesla, car will complete the payment processing for you. The charging experience with the Lucid, much better than any other electric car out there. Well, except for the ones made by that company. Pro, the Lucid Air has physical buttons to change your climate temperature, fan speed, and volume, and regular standard air vents, so you can just easily grab them, so unlike Tesla and Rivian. Con, the key fob feels cheaper than that of Mercedes or BMW, and it does look cool, but its functionality is limited. You can only lock, unlock, and pop the front from the key fob, unlike Tesla, which also does the rear trunk as well, and the charge port. Really only one button, and you have to remember Morse code. Pro, the windshield. It's one gigantic piece of glass stretching all the way from the base of the windshield to the B-pillar, which creates a very good view. But kind of a con attached to the windshield is that the sun visors are just haphazardly tacked onto the windshield with suction cups. Pro, turn signal cameras. When you turn on your signal, a camera pops up in your blind spot, so you'll never run over a small pedestrian or run into another car, I guess. Con, the steering wheel and mirror adjustments are done through the screen. Same as Tesla and Rivian, but it still doesn't change the fact that it can be quite fussy if you need to change your mirror angle quickly while driving. Pro, rear seat comfort. Loads of room in the back with sunshades, vents, quad zone climate control, and heated seats to boot. The back seats are quite luxurious. Your knees sit pretty high up due to the floor and the seat being very close to each other. If you do opt for the regular touring trim and not the Grand Touring as shown here, you do get more depth in the footwell because it's a smaller battery pack. Pro, quad zone climate control. So that means you have a fan speed and temperature zone for each seat. So no matter where you're sitting in the car, you'll always be the perfect temperature. Conish Pro, no air suspension. Tesla have air suspension, which allows them to infinitely change their ride height to a point at will. The Lucid Air does not, just regular coil springs, which can pose problems as the Lucid Air is quite low to the ground, so you can scrape easily, but it doesn't change the fact that the Lucid is still crazy comfortable. Pro, soft closing doors. No need to slam the door shut like in the Rivian in order for it to close all the way. You just kind of get it to the point of clicking into the latch, and then it will just pull itself closed for you. Pro, the safety. The Lucid Air's long hood and large front trunk provides an impressively large crumple zone to absorb impacts during a crash, and the batteries being located under the floor lowers the likelihood of rolling the car over to basically zero, giving the Lucid Air a 5-star crash test rating from Euro NCAP. Anyway, that's enough with the pros and cons. Let's just do some simple quirks and features of the Lucid Air. The front, you have the slimmest headlights that ever in the car industry. You have your high beams here, your running lights there, and some more running lights and turn signals down there. Very sleek, although there's no fog lights, which kind of sucks. Back, you have your nice red running bar lights. Turn signals right here, brake lights are right here. Reverse light down below. Very nice looking back end. You lock and unlock the Lucid Air. Name in the back. Honk the horn. It's weird. It sounds like Forza. This is weird because it has a little touch screen for your lights and stuff. The key is interesting.
Key looks like a soap.
You have this neat little ski pass-through slot. You can
stick your hand inside it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can shove a bunch of crap in there. One really weird thing about the center thing is that if you go like this, then it just goes away, and then you have
yeah, you have storage.
You have storage in there. Press on the like the...
Oh, where it usually is.
Yeah. And
It has 3 different drive modes. Smooth, this is like the slowest
the
one.
The comfort mode.
There's Swift, which is like a little bit faster, and then Sprint, really fast. It's maximum power. You actually have to do like a...
Yeah, and also my favorite feature, the GTA camera.
Yeah, full 360.
It's like a GTA...
I don't even know how it works. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is super cool though. Found something, like in the 360 cam, you can like zoom in. Can I go inside the car? Oh my god, I can. It's like a full 3D rendering. What the heck? This is the glove box button. It like pops open.
Usually there's a tissue here.
Oh, there's a light.
I steel a tissue from here, and I'm not giving it back to the Turo.
It's not a tissue. It's a microfiber cloth for the screen.
It's a tissue.
The hazards are on the ceiling, which is weird. Another weird thing is that these sun visors need actual like batteries in them.
I don't know why, but
because these are like suction cup to the window, and that's how the lights work for the thingy mabob. The weird thing, my lights aren't working. Do your lights work?
Yes.
But your lights work, mine don't. Maybe my battery's dead.
So those airbags, I think.
All cars have airbags.
No, the wind visors have airbags, like right here.
What would that do?
Cut that out in the video. Let's restart.
Face ID. It has Face ID. I'm gonna add my face.
Where's the picture? Where's the camera?
It's right here, I think. So one really strange quirk about the Lucid is the way the trunk opens. It like has like this weird like clamshell thing, and it has like extra taillights in the back.
And it has a handle for some reason. If you put a dead body in your car, and it's like...
That's where the charging thing is. It's under there. I'll lock you in there.
Do it, actually.
Yeah. Bye. Or how do I close it? There we go. Wait, hold on. Hold on, I'm coming through the ski pass-through. Hello? What are you doing in there? Wake up. Weird thing is, like, where does this go to? Where does this like lid like slide to? If that makes sense. Like it doesn't curl up inside there. Like it's just a magic disappearing lid. It does this cool little graphic with the taillights when it's charging, which is pretty cool. Functional hood vents. It has tons of bear logos. Like there's bears on the seat, bears on that, bears when you do launch control. I think it's just a kind of a California thing because this car is designed in California. Okay, here's the built-in owner's manual of the car. Tires and wheels. Tires and wheels. I want to see tires and heels. Here, when you're on the screen, you can actually zoom in like 2x, or you can go like zoom out if you want. One sort of interesting quirk that's weird if you're not used to it is the Lucid doesn't have a start button. You just kind of get in with the key in your pocket and you just put your foot on the brake and it starts up, and then you can pop the little shifter into drive and then whiz away. This thing has really good parking sensors. Like if I just back up towards my tripod here, your info in inches, so 15 inches away. If I go right here, it has like a 3D view, which is cool. Yeah, then it says to stop. It does have many different themes for its ambient lighting. Make it warmer, which also changes the gauge cluster as well. But it also changes the ambient lighting. And up here. Thank you. It has lights inside the door handles, which is useful. And it does have a little percent indicator on the charge port itself, which is useful. When you open the door at night, there's a light at the bottom of the door so you can see where you're stepping so you don't trip and fall. You do have these neat little trigger style door releases to get out of the Lucid Air. The little icon in the gauge cluster will mimic exactly what your car is in real life. So if I open the front, it'll show my front is open. If I open my rear trunk, it'll show my rear trunk is open. Also show who is, like, which seats are occupied and which seat belts are buckled. Play the game. Will the Lucid Air screen crush your finger? I have a water bottle just for safety. Oh, it didn't go fully. It just kind of smashed it a little bit and then went back. Oh yeah, that's not bad. But then it kind of stops like halfway and then you have to go back and then try to make it go back again. Come back. Thank you. So here's the song I always use for testing because it has kind of all the frequencies. volume, unlike a lot of other stereo systems. Let's pump up the bass. The bass in this thing is actually good if I turned on everything else. This is a bad setup, but what I'm confused is like, where even is like the, like, it's not in the door, but it's like here. Like, I don't know where the speaker is though. I will admit, the stereo is quite bassy by default, so I would probably actually take some of it off, but good for people who like bass. I just think it's a little overwhelming on default. It has a good sound system. So I forgot to record an actual bit for this, but let's just see how this thing drives. I turned it into smooth mode, because I don't trust myself.
I think I'm a pretty good driver. Mom told me I've been doing really good too. Only worried her once when I pulled into y'all's driveway really fast yesterday.
This thing you can basically one pedal drive. You never touch the brake. And I kind of know what to expect with EVs, so I feel like I can do it pretty smooth.
I don't use Mom's brake.
But that's not an EV, so
Yeah,
you just
I know.
fly into things. I don't like, because the steering wheel is kind of low right now, so I would like to raise it, but it's in this thing, and I don't feel comfortable doing that right now. It says to watch the road, but I am. Well, I was looking
Does it have eye detection?
Yes, it does.
What the freak?
Well, yeah.
It's not in its first year of the car.
I think it's
out.
first or second year, but yeah, it's still new.
Yeah, so
And
I would definitely
honestly,
wait.
this is way better than Tesla's first production Model S, like by a lot. But I will say the turning radius on this thing is not the best. I do like that you can like easily flick between drive and reverse quickly, just to... That's not even in sprint, that's smooth.
My head wasn't back yet.
Oh my god! Alright, I'm stopping. That was 60 miles.
It kind of makes you nervous though, doesn't
Yeah, it does. And I feel like your body just tenses up when you do that, and then you like lose your ability to think.
Oh my god!
And yeah, that's pretty much it for the review of the Lucid Air. Great car, but a lot of issues, specifically with the software. The car locked us out. We left the key in the car one time, and it completely locked, and we could not get into it, and my phone was in there. Secondly, and that door handle's broken. All I did to break it was I just pushed in on this door handle like you're supposed to do to unlock the car, but that one just doesn't work. I will have other content out on my channel for the Lucid Air, like infotainment system deep dive and some 0 to 60 testing and the vlog where we went to pick up this thing. But yeah, that's going to be the end of this review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. See you all in the next one.